Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
You might actually have to bring that closer to your face.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can. Yep. Yeah, I've got my brother,
Hi there. Hello.
the guy I keep talking about on stream. That I was like, oh yeah, my brother's helping me make this game. He does exist. He's not a lie.
It's not a figment of your imagination. I do exist.
Or do you?
Who knows? Is this all just a figment of our imagination?
Maybe it's all just a shared experience of delusion.
Yes.
Yeah. You take the headphones off even. If we're going to talk to each other. We'll need it for music, which everyone else can enjoy. But up to you.
Music time. Got our copyright free.
Yep.
Hey.
I did update all the playlists because I was getting tired of what I was listening to. And I have this mirrored camera always messes me up. That's for attribution reasons, but also because you want to know who we're listening to. So today's plan is I got to get this guy catched up on everything I've brainstormed with you guys last week. He has been moving and starting his new job and very, very busy and has not been really tuned into what's going on. And I was kind of waiting to give him the full download until here. So that's what we're about today.
Now we're here.
So I'm going to switch over to our brainstorming stuff and kind of go over kind of the stuff that came up from our game design discussion. And hopefully we'll turn it into a proper game design document and have a concrete way forward. And maybe we'll even get into making music and doing some stuff. I also have some drinks going on, so we'll see. Maybe we'll just end up playing Elden Ring. I don't know. The night is ours to decide it.
See where we go.
Yes. If any time you have any issues hearing any of us, I'm using 2 mics, obviously, so let me know if there's a problem. Or if something's too loud. Like if I'm too loud.
Yes. And if I'm too quiet, let me know. I hope I have it placed in the right spot here. I don't want to go too far back. I know I have a habit of going back or forward, but hopefully that is good.
Looks good from the peak meters. Cool. All right. So what we've planned. What do you remember of the game? Let's start with what you remember we're making.
So we are making a game that is just based off of kind of going into like trauma, kind of going into a little bit of tackling like depression realistically.
Yep.
It starts off it's all in one room, realistically one apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at different stages where you're kind of struggling with yourself because you're on this long extended vacation, from what I understand. I remember we were talking about just whether it was going to be like
The way it was set up.
yeah, whether it was like a break. We're going to have a note from our significant other.
Yep.
We're going to be having some emotional plots with that. I know we were kind of brainstorming some ideas there that was between like having a note. She's not really going to be there, but you're going to communicate with her kind of through notes and through text messages, along with your friend that you have.
Yep.
And there's going to be some betrayal.
Yes.
Possibly.
Or maybe perceived. Oh, and a wild ad has appeared. But that's okay. We're going to continue even though an ad has appeared. Mainly because this has been talked about in the past. And you can always check the VOD and things there. Have you seen the latest demo? Like where we're at so far with the game?
You know, I actually have not. I'm very excited to see where we've gotten. I saw the
Don't
book.
be too excited.
Saw the book. And kind of the intro of like the menu that you were looking at doing.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
We'll wait for Godot to do its thing a moment here. I could wait 15 seconds, then everybody will come back. Come on, Bezos. Thank you. Looks like I need to add like 6 seconds to that delay. All right. Everyone's back, and the best part is now there's no pre-roll ads for anyone that joins the stream. So you can come in and say, yeah, I don't want to watch this guy, and you know who I am instead of just seeing an ad. I'm just kidding. So I'm going to show you where we are. There's a few things we need to improve. The state management is done in like 2 places. I don't like that. But I'm not really worried about like making the most efficient code at the moment. I'm more focused on solidifying our plan and our ideas and then just get it working.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you get everything set in right now, just because I'm in moving mode. I got my computer set up. I didn't worry about cable management. I was just like, as long as it's in there and it's working, that's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Then we can deal with the organization later.
Exactly. All right, so we're gonna pop into this guy, load him up. I didn't even announce on any of this stuff. Yeah, it's fine. So you see
Eudemonia? Eudemonia?
Eudemonia, I think is the way it's called.
Eudemonia?
It's a real word. I'm not making it up.
New game. Perfect.
So you can come up to your bed, and if you notice when you go over things, it highlights it. And if you press E, yeah, should I make like yes. Now the bed's made. Oop,
Nice.
let's fix some of that.
See, you got the note right over there.
You press E.
Hey, you.
My parents this weekend.
Spa and do some shopping. Talk to you soon. Hugs and kisses.
Uh-oh. Invalid call. Uh-oh.
Interact with player.
Well, that's a bug.
Uh-oh. Debug.
Yeah. Play, interact, sleep state. Oh, okay. So this is a bug because what it was trying to do was that the bed and the note were in the same space, but I thought I made it where the bed isn't, like the interactive state is on this side, the note being on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Should have meant that the bed interaction object wouldn't have occurred. But I'm also using Dialogic, which has some things that I need to improve. And I'll be making a video over this weekend, which is what I promised last time, but I was busy last weekend. Like I said, I was helping this guy move. But maybe I can actually fix that this weekend while I'm at it. But yeah, pretty much this hovers, but there's nothing else here. Everything is gone. I've been trying to clean it out because it was all just a tile map, and now I'm building actual objects with methods in it. So eventually it'll look something like this, but everything will have proper interactions.
Yeah. Instead of just kind of a placemat.
Yeah.
That's there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. And then, so we had this idea where when we first crafted this, let me bring us back over here.
Back to this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to turn everything we were working on into a proper little design doc that goes through it. So back when we did this before, we have some emotions that we're trying to master. We're really starting with like sadness and depression first. And this is where it's like you begin your day, you get the note that she's gone, the place kind of shifts to being dirty, but and then you clean the house, you go to bed for that night, then something pushes you to be more negative, it's dirty again, but you don't want to clean. So then you just skip the day and play video games. It gets really bad. You discover something even worse about your relationship. Then you have to confront your depression. That was what we thought before. And then a wonderful viewer was talking. He was like, hey, it's not a very fun thing to do to restrict players from doing something, to give them not the option.
So saying, no, you can't do this, it's not as engaging.
Yeah.
Saying.
We should give free choice whether they do or not. And then the idea of like, well, what if instead there's this concept of a perception bubble and reality. quotes reality.
Ooh. Okay.
And so what happens is, do I have it in my one pager? Okay, I'm gonna just talk about it. So the day he wakes up, you have your like journal, and it'll have like your status of your emotion wheel is actually a page on there, which is kind of like your state. And your character has stress as an effect.
That's a good way. Okay. Is it like a bar?
I haven't decided yet. We get to decide that. Ooh. In fact, we'll probably pull over that whiteboard a little bit later, and maybe we'll do some better brainstorming.
Yeah.
So the idea is, as they go through the day, let me see if I come back to this guy. So they wake up, display slightly dim, nothing too distracted, just drastic. The bed is a mess. There's a note on the bed. When you interact with the note, it updates the dim and it adds the note to the journal. You have like a collection space in the journal, and it becomes your like safe place to collect things and write your notes, like in real therapy, where you have a journal that you write into and collect your thoughts and be your safe place.
Yeah.
The apartment is a mess. And honestly, like how much is not super obvious to the player. Initially, this concept of perception, which is the player's perception, which is his lens, taking the idea of like when you live in your place for so long, you become like nose blind to a certain sense.
Yeah.
So in this way, we're just saying like the environment you become blind to. Initially, the reality and the perception match. So you see it's messy, you go over, you can interact, you clean it up.
Cleaned up. Okay.
Exactly. So you go for that first day, and you start cleaning up. We have this idea that the interactions should be like mini games to kind of give you a soft intro to like how the boss battles will be.
Yeah. So I see it's like Among Us, or like is what you're kind of compared to, like how there was like doing the wiring or anything like that.
Something else and I want your thoughts on this. We keep straddling this line of like, are we a psychological horror game or not? And the more I go down this, the more I think we should just pull the Band-Aid and be psychological horror.
Okay. Because you got the perception in there now, so that kind of adds another layer.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Exactly. And like people like scary games. Depression is scary. Rage is scary.
It's all psychological. Yeah.
And so this allows us to do scary things, push the boundaries a little bit. So there's that.
Okay.
I thought it'd be fun. I thought of like Undertale. I thought of another game that I've been kind of watching other players play, going back and reviewing it because I haven't seen it in a while, is Amori. So it's like a 20-hour game, and it's a very like psychological and very mental health, and it is like it to the max. Like at some point you should watch it. Go watch go watch like a quick run, but it is insane, and it's rated M.
Rated M for mature,
which is what I think ours will have to rate.
Just based off the subject that we're going to. I don't think we're also like going too far.
No.
Into it either. I think we're like scratching the surface when it comes towards depression and all of that.
Yeah. So in this case, I'm thinking in the level, let's say you have your laundry machine that's here. There's going to be like clothes around the apartment. You go around, you pick them up, and then you go over to the laundry machine and you take the clothes and you put them in the wash. A future state is in one of these days in the future when your perception is different than reality. Your perception will be you're putting it in the laundry, but if you looked at say there's a shirt, and let's say you're your perception ring is smaller, right? So this is like the game window. That's what this rectangle represents. So it's the screen, the camera screen that you see of the apartment, and like the player in the middle, and like that's the sphere that he sees. When the sphere is smaller, or it's small enough, and you have like that shirt, when it's out here, it's gonna be a blood-soaked shirt. But when you pass it over the perception, it's gonna be a clean shirt. And you're gonna put it in the laundry just like a regular dirty shirt.
Interesting. Okay, so what you're saying is basically it's gonna be like this like rounded kind of field between reality and what you're seeing, and it'll change, so the interactive state of what it looks like will be different.
Right. What's out here is the reality you refuse to face, and what's here is the perception you put in front of yourself that you're believing, and that you're like, no, this is what's happening. I refuse to believe there's a wrong.
It's fine.
Hence you go up to do the dishes, and inside the perception, it's clean. There's no dishes to do, but you leave the perception and they're dirty. So it's not saying they can't do it. They just don't think they have to.
Interesting.
And then every time you have a stressful event, the sphere shrinks.
Yeah, well, because at that point, stress kind of takes away from...
It has you facing it, like giving you a reason to face reality. Yeah. When the perception reaches totality, becomes like there is no more like change in perception, triggers the boss fight.
Because then you have to face it.
Exactly.
Yeah. The perception filter's gone. There's nothing. You gotta go face it head on. And at that point, that could be the boss battle.
Yeah. Yep. And just because the sphere is gone doesn't mean that that's what happens immediately. There'll be something that triggers it. In this case, for depression, it's when you open your journal. Your perception 0 is 0. You go to your journal. Like you could be running around, your perception will be 0. You'd be running around like, okay, what do I do? And you go look at your journal to maybe look at a note, go look at like what you need to be doing next. And when you do that, that'll trigger it because that is your safe place.
Yeah. It's where you go to. Okay.
And like when you're dealing with rage, the perception will change. The whole room, the whole apartment will be broken, but there'll be like one unbroken mirror. And you go look at the mirror and you look at yourself.
Because at that point, when you're in your rage state, like there's some reflection there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of want to do a play on things. I know I'm probably making that scope more than I should, but when the character, I keep hitting the Windows button because I'm used to working on Mac. When you're go across a mirror, even like when you're in the perception, I want the mirror's reflection to reflect the state that's currently dominant.
Oh, yeah, because at that point you're seeing what's being reflected. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I also liked, and then we also still have the mood wheel that we're incorporating into this too, aren't we? Like it's going to be off in the corner and kind of stating like where we're at. Yeah.
So I was thinking, and I want your thoughts on this too. The demo, I want us to have like this linear path of like it's depression and rage, and then like I might even not even show the ending. I might just have it go to fade to white. For the demo, and then call it that.
Yeah.
To not really reveal the whole thing.
Yeah.
Show
everything.
Yeah. And then the full game is different things will trigger different aspects of the wheel, and so your game can change. Like you might find things that make you angry, and so you might go through and have like 2 ticks of anger, but then you find something that makes you sad, and there's like 1 tick of sad. And then you'll have like going through the progression, you might have like the sad ending or the angry ending, or like some like paths that go through this that go to an ending.
Okay.
So then it's like you travel this in different paths. So I was even thinking of like Path of Exile's wheel thing. Like there's all these like paths you can go.
Yeah.
But it then crosses through there, and it basically goes like click, 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 and then eventually trying to convert them to its like mirror opposite when you like fix it. Or let's say you choose not to fix it. You get like the sad ending, not the happy ending. Like these all basically become endings.
It's kind of like a reflection of yourself at that point. Like, if you're doing the angry versus happy versus scared versus confident, playful, sad, like, and what decisions you make affect your outcome of that ending.
Yeah, and we just let the players choose.
Yeah.
Do they conquer it or do they not?
That does put a little bit more power into their hands. I mean, I feel like that puts. I mean, when you're playing a game, what do you enjoy? Do you enjoy having like when you're playing a game that's a role play game? You know, having the open ended kind of idea of like, well, what I decide at the end of the day will also affect my ending. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, like Baldur's Gate has probably like the biggest impact with that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean that's really cool. I really like that. I'm kind of thinking, like, focusing on the happy stuff. Then what are we looking at for the happy stuff? You know, like because we have a lot of sad stuff. We definitely have like a lot of like the getting into the depression side. But I definitely want to focus on too like so what are the things that we can do to fix it? What are the things that we can do to?
So I'm thinking this is something I'm just thinking about now, because these here are triggered by stress. Maybe things on this is triggered by comfort.
Okay. So what gives us comfort?
Things you find in the world. So maybe there are things that you find, and then they end up being either tools to help you beat the bosses. So it might be like, you're like, I'm going for a no comfort run. So you choose not to pick up any of the comfort things.
Yeah.
And so it makes like the boss battles harder with like a thinner line that you have to like hit the action for.
Yeah.
But if let's say you find a note from your dad that says he's proud of you, that's a move in like hope or like, respected, valued, accepted, like any one of these, in there.
Yeah.
Those are little things that add to comfort that give you tools. Maybe it's like, oh, here's a journal or like a little love note from your first relationship or things like that.
You've got where you get like a text message from like a good friend or like you get like there's good memories that you have that will pop up from things that you own. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and maybe it's not just from a text message from your friend. Maybe it's like, because the way I was thinking about the journal, I was thinking about the player at the end of the night, end of the first night. Like I figure you clean up the place and then you go. I figured after you cleaned up everything, you kind of just play some video games, and then you come back and the apartment is dark. You're like, wow, it's late. I should go to bed. And you get an electronic beep, and I just called it. Okay, I needed a name for this universe's Twitter.
Pong app.
I called it Pong because you do pings. So it becomes ping pong.
Yeah. The ping pong. Pong app. Okay.
All the posts are pings. It's dumb. We can come up with a better name in the future.
Right now, it's a good placeholder.
I acknowledge it's crap. But what this does is it enables the phone feature to appear so that you could use the phone. And from there's going to be the equivalent of Discord and like notifications. And so interacting with your friends, you could maybe still have like a dialogue process that gives you, like you might go down a route that gives you stress or comfort based on how you interact with different people.
Okay. It's almost like it's your friendship meter or like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be like your friends being like, oh, that's awesome, you got that promotion at work. That's so great. Like you don't even know it comes in.
Yeah. Little things that kind of can help with like. If you, is it also like when you're talking to them that it unlocks different like things that pop up where because you're engaging with them a little bit more, positive things can come out? Or
I think it's that and the topic you choose. Think of like, in a sense, Baldur's Gate. The dialogic engine lets me build crazy dialogue navigation paths, so we can go into that, and I'll show you that here in a second. So we could build a whole stack tray of like, okay, this to this to this to this. So you might be like, talk to you about your friend, tell them like, hey, you did a great job, thanks for closing for me last night. It's like, oh yeah, no problem, and hey, great job on that promotion. That might like add to your comfort.
Positive.
But if you were like, oh man, I suck at this, the guy's like, yeah man, I know.
Yeah.
And that like, it reaffirms the stress. Because bros being bros, sometimes we're really bad at when our friends need help.
We try.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, thinking like, hey, I looked at my app, I got like a notification from Twitter or whatever, it's your friends who's partying or something. And then you're like, wow, this is a really bad line. We need to improve this. But like the player thinks, oh, she must have shopped till she drops. It's horrible. It's bad. But basically coming that feeling like, oh, no messages from her. You know, you get in your head really easily.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's really easy to get in your head. It's crazy also when you're in your head long enough that like it just turns into this big thing that you're not realizing. It's just all in your head.
Yeah, there's like nothing, but you make it something.
Yeah. And it becomes bigger the more you feed into it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that this wheel becomes more like there's like connected points so that we can make this wheel more like pieces that then link. And so as you do things, it like links.
Okay.
So then you're like, oh, and it becomes pretty much it becomes the timeline.
So that'd be the route that you would take. So based off of how you get to the ending that you would get.
Yep.
Is based off the route that you would take and where the wheel kind of ends up landing for the majority.
Yeah.
Because if you do anything where it's like getting annoyed and then leading to your anger and your rage stage, and then going from there can lead to your ending that deals with a lot of anger.
Yep.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or like jealousy, like kind of the annoying and jealousy. Like that really goes together. But yeah, like saying, your girlfriend, significant other, is in a relationship with somebody else, or is like looking to move on, or you see a picture of them with somebody else, or there's a text message that they're hanging out with this person, and then depending what your decision is, that leads into your anger stage, and then from there, what do you do in your anger stage, and then the little tests that come up from there, are you going to continue to clean the dishes and continue to clean everything up, or are you angry and just kind of like taking it out on everything, or yeah,
I want the players to make that choice. I was thinking for fear or being like scared, if you end up having enough blocks in it, like the dishes might be dirty and you might see it, but like when you're out of the perception view, there's like a big ass spider in the sink.
Ooh.
And so your anxiety is there's a big ass spider in the sink.
Yeah, you're not gonna go near that thing. No.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be crazy to even like, hey, let's maybe do the dishes, right? There's a big spider and you're like, oh, I gotta pull the spider. Or when it goes through your thing, it becomes a bowl. So I don't know, I got ideas. I gotta make it happen. We've got to make it happen. But these are some of the thoughts we've come up with so far.
I'm trying to think about the music around all of those tones, because I'm thinking like there's positive music, and then there's sad music, and then there's angry music, and then there's.
I mean, okay, let's switch to that. Maybe each of these, like, it's not like all these smaller ones, but each slice has a tone or a thing that represents it, and that you can, because we talked about crossfading them and like having a way to have them build on each other.
Yeah.
And so like having some of these together might be able to have some way to, I don't know, build on them. I'm not a musician.
Well, you could do something where we all have like a similar backtone, like a similar structure, but having it in a different key, or having it like, if you're wanting to do something that has the same tone, like same progression, or but changing out like the key of it so that it ends up being a brighter tone versus a negative tone, or if we want to kind of do something like that, that's like the similar theme that kind of goes throughout the game, but it changes based off of the emotions that you are going through, and it, if it's going to be slower and like more depressing sounding, or if it's going to be fast paced and positive and playful, or is it going to be like, do you want something that's, I guess it's kind of like, do we want to do something different for each single thing, or are we wanting to do something that has the similar structure? I guess, if that makes sense.
It does. I was just double checking that your audio isn't going on mine. So I think I need to reduce mine a little bit just so it's. You want to say something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it still got you. I need my gain. Let's lower the gain.
Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do do do.
Okay. I think it's gonna work. Hopefully. They should have two mics being next to each other.
Not having any like feedback or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I think they can. They'll hear you twice. I think is what's up.
Gotcha.
Now I just noticed that.
Is it because of the? It's getting picked up on that other mic.
It is, yeah. Cause I didn't test this ahead of time. I wonder how low I can make it. How about this?
Hello, hello. Still somewhat there.
I wonder if I can change. I think I can change the type. Mic setup. This beacon mic is really cool. I haven't used much of it, so. So how low would that be? That's not bad. Expander, compressor. I have no idea which one. Amp's fine. I don't know. If it sucks, you guys need. I like that style.
Okay. We could definitely give that a shot. Play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
At some point, I wish I could have my guitar here too, and we could try like, ooh,
Yeah, I didn't
play
know if you
around
were
with
gonna
it.
try to bring it or not.
I didn't have the space for it, so next time though, I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all hiding in the closet in our apartment right now. Everything is all kind of in there, hanging out.
Yeah.
So, but next time I could definitely
I
bring it.
mean, I could try to. I can bring up 8-Bit Dragon if you wanted to play with that, and
Mm-hmm.
I could pull the whiteboard over, and we can try to maybe get the demo path figured out. Because I'd like to figure out what we want to do for the demo experience that like unlocks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of thinking it starts in the depression. You face one of the bosses. I'm gonna figure out how we end it. Like, I didn't figure like one boss would like end the game. That feels kind of weird.
Nah.
Like, what is the progression? How many days? Is it days? Is that like?
I feel like it's days. I mean, at this point, it sounds like it might be over the course of days, for like per boss, or
Well, so we know like day one, for instance, is a nothing days. It introduces the mini games. It introduces the character into the different things they have, their phone, cleaning up, kind of
just
like
like general game mechanic.
Yeah. And then day two is when things start getting closer there. Like day two is when you do your confront depression. And then day three was when you woke up and like the room was split between like packed bags, things missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like the stressor that made things angry. So we'd have to figure out like what are the stressors that make you angry? What is that what does that need to like happen a day after? And there's like an event that happens after you've confronted depression, and there's a day of stressors that you find, like things that make you angry.
Yeah.
Is it 4 days? Is the game in 4 days?
Timeline wise, I mean, I would see over like 4 or 5 days generally, because I mean we're talking also like storyline.
Mm-hmm.
We're on this extended holiday break. Yeah. From work, and you know, we start off with the first day that maybe it should come to a surprise to us. Would be like, oh, she's out for the time being. That's interesting. Kind of like maybe story beat. Like you're kind of taken back that she decided to.
Is it Thanksgiving? Would it be Thanksgiving week?
That's generally about 4 days, isn't it? Yeah.
What if? So here's an idea. What if it's Thanksgiving break, but it's the Saturday before, and it goes because you work Black Friday.
Uh huh.
But you have that whole upcoming week.
Okay.
Like Saturday through Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and Thursday being Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Wednesday, like the day before Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah.
Saturday to Wednesday.
Okay.
Maybe like there's some endings where you end up taking a plane to go visit your family for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, happy ending.
Yay.
There's one where it's like
You just don't do
you
anything.
don't.
Well, yeah. I mean that adds some like story mechanics there, where it's like based off of what you choose creates your outcome of, yeah, are you gonna go see your family? Are you not? You know, are you sad because like you're just gonna get pictures of, or like a text that like your significant other is out with their family with another guy or another, you know, other person, and that sets you off, or
Yeah.
there could be
Saturday. Sunday. Monday. Wednesday. It gives you 5 days.
yeah, it's your little vacation before Black Friday.
Yeah.
So what are you doing then? What do you want to go into anything about like what your job is, or is that, like, are we like a retail worker that's, you know, like we're working at like a Target, or like Are we talking like a vacation? Like, are we a software developer? Are we? I don't know if they do anything
But
that gets you.
they usually have. They better be working these days and then off Thursday, Friday.
Gotcha. So we're kind of like we're talking like we're more in the retail.
Yeah.
Is he an optician?
Does he sell
Oh, glasses.
That's funny because he does that.
Yeah. That's me.
But I think like that, or maybe you can even have it where it's like a holiday break, holiday, and maybe it's both the Thursday and the Friday. What if he's a doctor? Or like he's like trying to get like an intern, like he's getting his residency. Like he's super stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And like when ending might be where like a friend has an accident and that's why he has to go to work because he ends up having to go into the hospital because of an emergency versus like flying out.
Mm-hmm.
He's still like he's graduated, he's gotten past that stress, he's still insecure because he's like trying to get his residency at a hospital, so he's basically interning.
Yeah. Which I mean, like that takes a lot of your attention away from like your personal relationships and takes you're very focused on that.
And then the blood horror stuff comes from your job.
There is a connection there. Well, that makes sense because I was gonna ask like if we're gonna start seeing imagery of bloody T-shirts and stuff like that, where's the correlation like connection there? Because I think it looks cool, but I do think some people would ask like where's the correlation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like you're seeing a lot of things. You've seen like motorcycle accidents. You've seen bug bites.
Crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that like can you handle the stress? It's like that's part of it too. It's like a stressor might be your job, but it also might be a comfort depending on what like you get. Maybe it's a note from one of the people you helped, and it's like from a friend or a girl or just someone that was like thank you for saving my dad or something, like a little message that gives you a little bit of comfort of like why you do what you do.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Well, that also kind of shines a light on like the stresses of that job profession in general. Oh, I like that. Well, I feel like that gives a lot more like lenient, like
gives you allowance to do the scary stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did not do that. They are I don't know. Was it called? I think I guess they're doctors trying to get residency.
Yeah.
Internship. Look this up properly. Okay. Allows scary stuff to have a correlation. And then you can then link it to maybe like family trauma, like growing up trauma, things that you maybe didn't heal from, that like work plus the stress reveal those events.
Yeah. Are you somebody that's dived, like you dove like head first into this job field because it's actually your way of coping with like maybe things that you've had in your life and
maybe
now it's coming out
and you couldn't help anyone? Maybe you could have it where there was like it could be suggestive things like abuse or different things. And maybe it finds out in the end that like you find out and it's actually your mom's with your new stepdad. Like you never say stepdad.
What's
Like
going on?
later does like actually she escaped from that. Like there could be routes that.
Yeah. I like that. Is there emotional abuse, or is there then you get into that kind of territory. But
Yeah.
or is there like coping with
I want more things to be not said outright. I like things that are like on the tip of your tongue.
Mhm.
But just there's a leash
suggested?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it'd be interesting if there was like a playthrough. So like there's a playthrough where you're like at the end of it, the Thanksgiving, you fly to see your mom and your stepdad for Thanksgiving. But there's another playthrough where you go visit your mom's grave.
Okay. Based. So what would that be based on?
Well, like the like whether or not you are able to help versus not able to help.
Gotcha. Oh, so you're having a cause and effect in that situation.
You're doing revisionist history.
Yeah. Because then you're replaying the situation in your head.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's done this before, but if you have ever take a situation that you didn't like, you go and you replay that event over and over, and you think different ways. Oh, I'm gonna go that bully that beat me up. I'm gonna learn karate, and I'm gonna go kick his ass.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so cool, or I wish he said this, and then they would totally respect me. So this is more of like playing out those things. So what you think becomes reality here.
Yeah.
Because reality is maybe not be reality in this game.
It seems like with this game, reality and what you see as your reality is going to be like the big effect there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, generally that is revisionist history, and I know that very well. So, yeah. Okay. And so we're gonna start out at the beginning on Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
And we wake up and it's kind of like, oh, I've got,
So how do I get this time off?
so we gotta have dialogue that kind of explains it, but isn't like exposition dump.
We could even leave like those are things that are found as like lore.
Could be like either your schedule book, or you have like if you have a text message string from your boss, or if you have badges like laying around from your job, like your name tag or anything like that.
I like the badges.
So I feel like you're gonna be working. I mean, I'm getting memories. It's like working at Target or something like that. I'd have all my stuff hanging in the fridge.
Happy to see you.
Hello.
This is my brother.
Hey.
But continue. Sorry. Didn't mean
No, you're good. Yeah, I was thinking like, you have your badges. I would hang mine on the fridge a lot of the time, so I'd be hanging out there, or like they're either just on the table, and then you have like your journal or your like kind of your planner for the week, showing everything, and that could be something that's like a way of showing what's going on.
Yeah. It could also be like when you get access to the phone later, you've got like a. Yeah, it's because we have two mics. I'm tempted to just turn off this mic and just use that one.
You want to give it a try?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we'll do that. Oh no, man! It's all good. That is literally what I wanted to hear, was that there's an issue, because I can't fix it if I don't know about it. And if it sucks for everybody and everyone's like, dude, I am not staying, there's a double echo, then I can't ever fix it if no one tells me. So I actually really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you.
And let me know if it's better or if I need to turn up the gain. I don't know. I was trying to mess with all that earlier. And then, so it could be, actually, yeah.
parts.
So I'm thinking maybe you'll have like a text, like you'll have like a text thread. Maybe you're like maybe you have a group chat. I don't know how many group chats you have at like work. So
We've got a whole separate app that goes over like different strings and different chats that we have going on.
maybe there's a friend coworker that you offered to take Christmas and work Christmas, and you get Thanksgiving. Oh, what do you do for work? Is that to Spoogers here or to me? I'm assuming Spoogers.
Me or? I mean, if it's me, I sell glasses for a living, and basically make sure that your prescription works. So yeah, the eye doctor. I'm the guy that you see after the eye doctor, and I make sure that everything is that he has given us his directions for how you're supposed to see works right in the pair of glasses that you select. So I want to make sure your prescription will work in whatever you choose, and I help guide you on that.
Granted, you're back to that because before that, you were the guy that made the glasses.
Yes. Yeah, I was working in the lab side, and actually getting the lenses cut and put into the frame, and getting to know the different materials of lenses, which that is a thing. There is different materials. It's not just like glass or anything like that. Glass is actually a very old school way of doing glasses, which it still some people do, but nowadays it's like a polycarbonate, which is like used on helicopter glass, and Trivex, which is on the like same material that's like on the NASA like space shuttles.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's how they compare it for like scratch resistance and all that kind of stuff for your day-to-day needs.
Can your glasses take an asteroid hit? Ours can. I'm a software engineer. I'm a manager now, which is why I'm down doing indie stuff. I've been doing it for 15 years. Write a lot of code. I've been coding since I was a kid, forever ago. So I just do that, and now I'm working on this stuff, coding software as expected. So I'm torn. I like helping people. I see it where I like debug people in a spec. This game that we're building is based on like traumas and mental health. Growing up, I had a choice of either becoming a developer or a counselor, and I liked both. And I ended up doing development because I just like building stuff from nothing, and it gives me a bunch of joy. But I also want to build stuff that matters. So this is my way of doing both. Kind of give experiences and help people. But I like helping people succeed and getting success, as well as building cool stuff. Like if you build cool shit, then that's also really cool.
I feel like there's kind of an aspect of like, I made that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you created something from nothing, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. A little bit of ego, but it's helpful, I think. So I'm thinking, we could do like you swapped a holiday, because I mom, for instance, she would work holidays, and she'd have ones like, oh, I worked Thanksgiving last year, so at the hospital, so she would then get it off, but then, so I know that's a thing.
There is that. There's I mean, when you're a doctor or going for residency, I mean, anything in the medical field, it's generally 1 year you end up working most of the holidays, then the next year you get most of them off. Yeah.
And maybe when we talk about like promotion, good news, maybe he's like, this is you almost finishing your residency, and maybe one of the things is like a congratulations, you made it kind of thing. Like next year you get your benefits, and you're like, you begin your tenure, and that's like a comfort element that you can find in the game.
Okay. Yeah, and that could like help kind of open up for one of like the positive endings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. I'm curious on like how that can open up. Would that be like, going for one of the positive endings, or
Yeah.
like creative, or because now because we've got kind of a few on the opposite end here of you're wanting to be respected, getting valued.
Yeah. And that could be part of maybe the confident ending where you feel empowered.
The hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of like the sad stuff. I'm over here like
It's so easy to go down the sad route. And then you're like, oh, I need to make some stuff that makes you happy. And you're like, well, that's boring.
wait a minute. Happy stuff.
But I think it'd be cool for people to be like, I wanna get like all endings. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, other people might say our game's trash, but I don't know.
I think it'd be a lot of people that also like it. I think there's gonna be a good message behind it.
I hope so.
Put it in there. I don't want to go too far into like the deep end with being like super super sad, but I also want to give like positive.
Yeah, I think the first thing we should do. I have been drinking, so I read that again, and I was like, oh, he said it again. So I want to definitely keep things simple to start. Like we'll have that whole demo run. I want to kind of get the gameplay. One of the other things that was kind of thrown up as an idea is in the background we're gonna have like a heartbeat going, and when you do like boss battles, it's like like you're at the hospital.
Yeah.
And when you lose the boss, like let's say you lose, it like flatlines as like a thing in the background. But then there could also be like lore items in the game, or maybe you like go through a drawer and there's like a bracelet and it's like your name on a bracelet at a hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like
the band that you get when you check in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of like hints at things.
Okay.
That maybe things aren't as they seem.
It's that filter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how are we starting this out?
So that's where we start. So we know like you earned the Thanksgiving break.
Hey.
Discovered why in your phone later if you decide to look.
Okay.
Not everyone reads all the text.
Go for the explorer's route where people look into everything and see what else is there.
Yeah.
What you find helps unlock more of the story.
So, man, every time I look at this, it's so empty that I always like refer back to this
with everything in
with
there.
everything in there. Yeah. So let's see. I want thinking like you even like before your journal appears in the top corner, you've got to find your journal. Like maybe it's like because down here you don't see it, but down here I had like a computer and a desk.
You want it over there?
And if the journal was over there, or would it be maybe in your nightstand?
I feel like in their nightstand, maybe.
Playstyle is 2.5D novella-esque, but more like Undertale style. Yeah.
I'd say, yeah. Undertale.
Yeah. I won't click the note this time so it doesn't break. I have to fix that.
One bug. I do like the book.
You like the book?
I do.
Okay. There's some things I don't like about it, but I have to fix it later. But it's like this, and I'll do it. But hey, you. I gotta like freeze this. Like, there's a bunch of work here to see it done. Hey, so this is gonna change obviously because if you're out for the week, this is weekend. It's already Saturday when this is here. Maybe it's fine if she's saying Saturday. I don't know. Yeah. But you can run around. There's gonna be interactive things, because this is just empty because I started clearing it out so we can create objects. But it's going to be like psychological horror game, as it were, but leans more on mental health. I want to get it done this year. I originally had a deadline of like September because I also want to submit it to the Indie Game Festival. And then we could also show it off at GDC next March, which would be really cool. But there's also different like Indiecade and other festivals that even show up in like June and August that I'd love to submit it for, even if it was like the demo aspect. So I'd like to get the demo out within the next month or so.
Yeah.
And it be like the game is going to look bad at first because all games look bad. I don't know if you've even seen Pirate Software's version of Heartbound back in the early stages. It looked actually not even as good as mine because I'm using assets I bought from Itch. But the core was there. And so I'd like to get the core down within the month and get a lot of these aspects like jumping through the timelines, building like that stacked result to get us to the end, start defining the different endings, all the items we want to be able to find, what are stressors, what are comforts, who are all the characters, what are the relationships, what are like all of this like brainstorming. We're going to have like almost like those detective shows that have all the strings of what connections are on like a big display, probably on one of these visual things here so we can share it when he's home. But yeah, I'd like to have a demo sooner than later. I work on this game pretty much Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays every week.
And I'll be working on helping a lot more here soon. I am finally going to be available.
Yeah, I just have to move.
So now I'm closer and I'm able to be joining in on doing the music and helping out with just brainstorming and getting an idea for where the journey is going to be going with this.
Yep. This all came out of a game jam. We're like, we could do this in a week.
We're going to do this in a week.
Well, the game was extremely smaller back when we were planning it then.
Yeah.
Like, tiny. But then we were like, no, I really like this idea. Let's do it up.
Well, then we really liked the idea, and then we wanted to think, okay, let's put a lot more time into this and make it into something that is more than that small, like, weak indie.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the hope. That's the plan.
Hopefully.
Be consistent. Be on here. I'll probably try to push my hours a little bit more. I don't know how late I'm going to be tonight. Also, I don't know how long you're planning to stay. But
I'm here to hang out. I don't know. I know, kind of going with the flow at this point.
Yeah. We might even end the stream probably like my usual time, maybe like 11:30, but we still might work on it after that. So we don't feel constrained to sit here. We can run around. We got that. We can drink more. I don't know, do something dumb while drinking too much. But I will be planning on streaming to like an extra hour, I think, to like 12:30 Monday or Tuesday, Wednesdays, and then like 2:30 on Fridays.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 hours. It's basically, so I do 4 hours for 2 nights and 6 hours on another night. And I think that is the time that I need to add. Like that's the time I need to invest to make this game happen in that time frame. And you can join me on those nights. You can chat with me on those other nights that I'm not working on this. And I'm actually working on different things like YouTube videos. I try to work on YouTube videos on the weekends. And then Mondays, Thursdays, I'm working on a secret project. That might not be so secret because Tuesday I've got my monthly video. Did I tell you about my monthly video?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. Out of all the things we talked about, I can't believe I've never told you this.
Unless you have, and for some odd reason, it's just like gone in like one ear and out the other for some reason. I don't think so, but that doesn't sound familiar to me. Unless like I've completely heard you and then like I somehow ADHD my way from not hearing it.
Well, you were also not living in a great place, so you were in a stressful place with roommates that sucked. You know, I will wait for the ad because Cinnamon, I know you don't usually get ads for whatever reason, which is awesome because you're a cool person. But if you did, I'll wait for you to return. And I'll re-say it because I think it was the middle of the ad. Got 40 seconds. Can't believe I haven't finished my margarita yet. I could down my purple.
Done with my second.
Well, I could down those quick. I don't know what I think it's the tequila. Maybe I'm not a tequila person.
Huh? Oh man, I can always do a marg. Let me tell you what, margs. That's my drink.
I'm a vodka person.
Vodka. Hey,
Vodka.
Vodka.
Yeah. And we're back. I don't know if you got the ad or not, but I usually wait for the ads to go away. So, I do. Okay. This started last year.
Mm-hmm.
I would make videos that then I would watch a year later and see where I was. I made all these like, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that. The one I watched was actually for May, but I watched it in March because I was kind of feeling down and I was like, well, let me see where I was a year-ish ago and how far have I gone? I was feeling kind of down. The funny part was the one thing I was like, man, I hope I get my computer built. I did do that with his help. And I was super excited about that.
Yeah.
But then I went through and I listed all these things that I was going to do. I did none of those things. And that was May of the year prior. And I remember feeling so bad because I was working on like a tile map video last year.
Yeah.
That I worked on for 7 months and then threw it away because I didn't like it. And then I made, I think, the Unity response video, and that was pretty popular. And I've got like a jam game video I made back in February, and so like either way, when I saw that back, I guess it was in March. I was like, was it March? It was February. Either way, I was like, okay, I need to help. I want to be more accountable and have this sense of like progress and kind of see where I was.
Yeah.
And so I created a video. I think I did. I must have actually been in February because I created a video in February for myself to watch in March.
Okay.
And to watch a year from now. So now it plays double.
Yeah.
And so then 1 month goes by and I watch it and I make 50%. Okay. I make 25% progress. And I was like, okay, but I'm going to keep this up because it's stressful. And I was on, I actually have two videos. One's a private one that has like personal goals and things that I'm not going to share with people. But then there's a public one that I will be sharing on stream.
Okay.
And we'll be doing that next Tuesday when we get to see my March video of my goals for April. It was the end of March. So it must have been the beginning of March. And then I watched it the beginning of April because I didn't start streaming until my birthday. So I watched my video at the beginning of April and then I started streaming. And then I recorded this next set of videos. The next two videos, the private one and the public one. Mm-hmm. So on Tuesday, we're going to see everything I said I was going to do for April.
Wow.
I think one of them is get a video out, which means I have this weekend to get the video out to meet that goal. I don't really remember what I said, but we're all going to see it and I'm going to react. And then we're going to create a new video from there saying our goals for May.
Okay. And then it starts over again.
And it starts over again. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, I was doing this for like 3 months and I didn't know. I can't believe I didn't tell you this one thing that I tell you like everything.
That's like the one thing. I remember you telling me that you were looking at doing like the year-long video.
Hmm.
Your deepest, darkest secrets.
Maybe when I have absolutely no shame. It's more that I don't want to dox myself. And what I do for work and goals personally, and I have a few weight loss goals, which I've actually been doing really, really well with. My scale is the same, but I feel better.
So you got some workout stuff going on?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've got my gym up and running. Mainly the biggest thing that you're gonna see on Tuesday is that video is recorded in my living room. And one of the biggest things that made me feel like crap was when I didn't have enough power in the studio to do everything I was doing. So I felt powerless. And so this new setup that I got recently by just doing it, like that's kind of like what I've learned this month. Like you don't have to be the best, you just do it. You just throw yourself at something and you just get what you get out of it. And at least you tried, and at least you're something. But if you keep waiting and planning and thinking and planning and thinking and planning and then throwing it away,
Yeah.
you get nowhere. And that's kind of what I've kind of just owning in this. So I'm working out a lot. I'm hoping to keep that. But we're going to talk all about this on Tuesday next week. And you can join me if you want. Up to you. We can react together.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm down. Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm pretty honest in the other one too. We'll be honest again.
Yeah. It starts over from there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm excited. We'll be there on Tuesday.
Yeah. And even if it's, one person, 0 people, 1,000,000 people, y'all are awesome. And thanks for hanging out and watching me build my game. Even if one person buys it, I'm still happy. I'm still happy. If I get it out, when it's just out there, then I'll be happy. I'll be happy now. I'm happy now because we're building the thing I want to build. We want to build.
We're getting it together.
Okay. Where were we? We've had
Saturday.
I honestly barely finished one drink, so there's no way I could say I'm drinking too much.
Look, man, you're getting carried away here.
I'm too sauced. Yeah, I don't know what it is about. It just takes me forever.
Yeah.
Okay. So you earn this break. You've got this time off. We've got that first day. Get the note. Okay. How do we find the journal? Is the journal on you automatically? Are you just always a journal dude?
I feel like it's out there. I feel like there's something that's just like, either whether it's a dialogue note that's just like, man, I need my journal, or being like, I'm going out to the kitchen and it's out there for some reason, maybe on the table. Or like, like, oh man, I was journaling last night, and
should we need maybe like a buffet or like a little desk table here, and then the journal's there?
We could either have it there, or do you want it out in the front, where like the TV is?
At side table? Yeah, I was thinking about it there. I'm thinking about these lights. Maybe I'll drop them. I have them there. Maybe we need like a bigger table thing.
Yeah, maybe getting rid of the lights. Yeah, the bedside table. Yeah.
Yeah, just have it on there.
Yeah.
Journal on bedside table. I think objects that you can interact with that you don't see need to have like a shine, like a little star, like interact with me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise you might not mess with it. You might ignore the whole thing. Sit on bed, maybe. We could replace the note with the journal.
Could. Do you want the note maybe on the table out in the living space?
Yeah, like over here.
Yeah.
Good.
Because generally maybe she like wrote the note, you know, and was on the way out.
Mm. Almost makes me want to put the little desk there
Yeah.
on the side. Like,
I like it that. Yeah. Could look at doing that.
you could have a table here. You could have her note and like a bowl where like your keys go.
Mm-hmm. Like on the way out.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, there's a note.
Yeah. Here. Let's just say on bed. Note stuck inside journal.
Go to open your journal and it's like on that page.
Maybe, but normally people don't open your journal.
Next to your journal? Like, do you have your journal
On
up
top
there?
of your journal?
Yeah. You could have it on top of the journal.
Like, you could have the interaction be the bed.
Hmm.
Like, I'm thinking like the mini game aspect when you go to pick up, like you go to interact with it. It has your journal and then the notes on top of it. And so you click on the note and you read the note. And then you click on your journal.
Yeah. It's layered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. But because she's probably thinking like, oh, I know he's gonna see it here.
Yeah, he goes everywhere. He takes his journal everywhere. Note on top of journal. Mini game esque. I never like the way I go like esque. I don't know. Mini game, like. I'm just meaning like that. You see the bed, the journal, note. You click on the note to read it and basically pick it up. And click on the journal. And it appears in the top corner. I think you click on the journal and you basically open it. You can explore it. You know, you could just jump around with the different things on it.
Yeah. I have like arrows on the top that like go right, left.
Yeah, that or let me show you. So, and I do like, so this is the effect that'll be where it's like the boss battle comes up. But there's these little tabs. And I was thinking of having like the collections being like a tab. Settings will be a tab. But your journal is like your everything.
That's your like menu.
Yeah. So more like this guy. I like this classic version instead of that gold filigree.
I definitely like the idea that like, okay, so your settings, your
Yeah, taped to the front.
profile, yeah, quests. Okay.
Yeah.
Stage 1.
Yeah. I'm thinking like this would be like your stress and your comfort.
Stress, comfort. Okay.
And I tried poorly, mind you. I don't know if you have a hard time seeing that or not. Open recent. The book open? Yikes. Okay. So this was me. I was exhausted Wednesday. I think yeah, Cinnamon was there. I was exhausted, I think. And this is what I made to reflect the wheel.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like the worst. And I spent the entire stream doing it, but I was so burnt out from my day that I think I'm gonna have like Wednesdays be acid day that I just work on art. So might be a good music day. We could probably like vibe on some music and
Yeah. Just kind of work on that.
yeah, it's like the worst day of meetings for me at work, and I'm like burnt out. But I enjoy this. It's just I could tell my energy isn't there.
Yeah. After a day of meetings, I mean,
Yeah.
what can you give you?
On that day, I have 15 minutes of freedom. Like that's the time I don't have a meeting. I don't eat. I don't do anything. I work from 8 to 5. I go get the kids, but then yeah. But
Meeting after meeting, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing how much it takes from you. But yeah, I'm thinking like these little note things help. And maybe when the boss battle happens, there's like another one that just attaches that says like question mark question mark.
Mhm.
You click it. I don't know.
And that's how like you transition into a boss battle.
Yeah, or you just go to the journal when it goes right to it, like a surprise, because it's your safe spot.
Doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Mm.
Makes you think about like Pokemon battle. Okay.
Obviously, this is where I.
You know, it really seems like the book is kind of like the main. The journal is like
Mm-hmm.
the main look of the game.
Yeah,
The main like mechanic.
I think it is. I think it's a core. I think it's part of the core.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to use this guy when we're over at the desk to read your emails.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so you'll be able to like read your emails, look up this world's version of Discord if you wanted, or Twitter or whatever from a computer.
Bird app.
Yeah. God, Pong is such a bad
Pong.
name for the game.
Froggy.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'd be cool. I wish I had like a phone version of this. So I'm gonna have to find a way to make your cell phone.
Kind of into like that same format.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they could have it on your phone. I mean,
Yeah. Because these are all books, which is fine. But I want a phone version, which I might. Maybe I'll just take this and see what happens if I just like shrink it. I don't know. We'll see.
too.
Yeah, but I could have like my post-it note like here,
Uh-huh.
and like you can find those like items that you realize you can interact with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a positive note.
Okay. You know, you also could. That's where you could also find like there's like pictures or like little things like taped to the side.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like lore bits in there.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking from some of that side. Okay, so we already have this change. What kind of phone? I mean, we could always do a play on Apple where everyone else is like the iPair.
Yeah. iPair. It's a classic.
Yeah.
I
The Samsung. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
iPhone's pretty easy. But whatever. You have any fancy names? I've come up with some really bad names. It's your turn. Or Chad, if you've got a better name for a fantasy version of an iPhone. One second. And I'm back. I'm gonna do this. You think of a phone names, think of phone stuff while I do this real quick.
Okay. Hmm.
Do you want coffee?
Coffee is great.
Oh, coffee if you want it.
Ah, it's coffee.
We might be right back to get that. Or I can go get it and then you can entertain You handle that pressure.
The pressure.
Cinnamon might take you down.
Ugh.
Light cream,
Fairly, yeah, like light,
but you want a little.
like just a little bit.
Okay. The iPhone.
iPhone.
Be right back. I'm getting coffee.
BRB. I'll be here. I'll entertain. The iPhone. I like that one. Wrong phone. That's a good one. I like iPair. I feel like iPair is like a classic. Hearing that one. Or even like Sam Ting. Let's see here. Hey, you are all good. That'd be me. I would get completely zooted and I would be like, what's going on? I'm gonna type here. So I totally get it. Let's figure out. I'm looking up just some good fake name for, let's see here. Oh man, the iPhone. iPhone. Phone. Let's see. We've got Pip phone.
Pip phone.
Pip phone.
There you go.
iPhone. Thank you, sir.
Was that Pip or is that Pie phone?
iPhone. iPhone.
Finally hit the point where my code is too much.
Biz Cadet. Biz Wiz. Biz phone.
Just says phone.
Phone.
Phone. Ugh. Phone. You know. That
Phone.
phone. Phone. It's the P squared phone.
P squared.
I don't hate it.
Phone.
Like there, arrows. I'm thinking like tabs. On the side. Boop boop boop. Okay. Journal in there. One pager. Replace that with the journal. I was thinking about this. I'm thinking like even if you don't look at the note, the journal, I think the apartment should be a mess like automatically.
Yeah.
Because I think it's too much of a giveaway that the place looks great, and then you read a note, and then all of a sudden it's a mess.
Yeah. So you feel like keeping it kind of like in the same status before and after you read the note?
Yeah, if anything, it might be just a little dimmer as like an environment. But my thought was when you start out, where is it? There it is. The perception and the reality are so close to being the same that the perception just becomes a little darker.
Yeah. Because we're starting out at the biggest spot, right? Like biggest kind of like perception.
Yeah, I think when it starts out, the perception is going to be like only at the fringes. Like it's going to be like your perception is like this. Like you don't see even the like the reality is over here. And maybe like it's more like more. Come on. I made it too big and now it's like I don't know what you want. Oh, it is the right thing. But it's almost like bigger than the window that you see. And so it's like only like the fringes would you notice if something is off. That way it's like the corner of your eye that something seems off.
Yeah.
But then your character, you go over there and it's like, no, it's fine.
Like, no, everything's good. Yeah, because you're like put the biggest filter right there.
Yeah. And then like your levels of altered state, which is I think your emotion. Like this is literally your state.
Okay. If
you don't have anything in any of them, then obviously perception is reality. In a sense. It's that's why I called it neutral.
Yeah.
Like you're none of them. You're almost like this center column. Where is have no emotions in robot. But like there's nothing shifting you. And only as you like uncover story elements do you like start writing a story that then like creates where they're at. Because you might write it like it'd be interesting if different things showed up based on what you select first. And that kind of locks you down a path, and then you either conquer it or you don't.
So you're starting off at the way like the ends here, and then like that kind of locks you in a little bit more. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and I'm thinking that like, and I don't think these are like one for one. Like if you fold it in half, I don't know if they're one. I got to find what the complementary emotion would be for like you've got loneliness, and then there's, I guess it's kind of like affection. They might be curious.
Was it like accepted versus jealous?
Accepted versus overwhelmed? Yeah, but I think it's more like excluded is more. I don't know. We basically need to find out what the complementaries are.
Yeah.
We might have to shift things around. We can shift things all we want. Like we can it's our game. We decide what we want. But I'd like to think that, let's say, and maybe that like note doesn't change what's available, but we can choose maybe if like a sad or an angry path. And I guess that could be the thing, like, because I want to find things that like maybe you find something that like a post or something on like Pong, and that makes you kind of hurt, which maybe would lock out. Oh, another ad has appeared. I'm sorry, chat, but I'm gonna keep going. But that might lock out, say there's like you go to play video games and be
Mhm.
bored, but maybe that option isn't there anymore because you chose this one. Like it's not something you can even action. Like you can't even find it. But if you didn't go find the post and you went to the games first
Yeah.
and you just played that all day, maybe you get bored. So like, it's that I'm thinking like the timeline
Mm.
and different paths unlock different things, but then like they lock paths from other ways. So there's still like they're linear stories, linear paths. Like they connect. Like this one connects to that, and maybe there are different junctions where you jump from sad to scared, or angry to sad, or sad to angry,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of them have their complementary one for like defeating it to earn it.
Yeah. So after you defeat them, you have the complementary opposite end.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And that kind of gives like it's a little game there of like what you get out of it when you accomplish something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like, so from what I'm saying, like if you're getting overwhelmed and then you fight through that.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Stay awesome.
I guess, yeah, what is the opposite of overwhelmed? Hope. Being like the opposite end, yeah, like
Creative, maybe.
creative. Yeah. So when you're overwhelmed, you're not really like, yeah, you're like kind of the opposite.
Yeah. Kind
I
of.
think.
Overwhelmed.
Ex-
Yeah. Mm.
Powerless is powerful.
Powerful. Yeah.
Anxious.
Respected. Or accepted.
Accepted.
No, that'd be like the opposite of ashamed, probably.
Yeah.
Anxious.
Disappointed. I feel like disappointed and then hopeful. Maybe?
Disappointed and hopeful.
Or
Disappointed and valued. I don't know.
the valued makes more sense to me.
Disappointed. It's kind of like you missed, or you're like, oh, I was expecting something, but it didn't turn out that way.
Yeah.
I think it, yeah, and we might be taking that a little too literally. I think we have to create situations that we think fit.
For that situation.
Mm-hmm. Like, maybe you're disappointed in a friend that made a bad choice,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you're disappointed in yourself for making a bad choice.
I'd see more as you're
Yeah.
disappointed in yourself.
Yeah, they're all internally.
Yeah. So where do you go after finding the note? Question.
Yeah, I think
Do
I
a few
have.
tasks.
Yeah, I have like, you have the percent, but there's like the house is a mess. So there's like socks. There's socks, broken dishes. There's dishes that you need to do. Oh, okay, I remember what this was. These are like mini games can go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Beats, missing socks, broken dishes.
Like you can have negative events add to player stress was what I was thinking about. So like maybe you're doing dishes and you break a dish,
Yeah.
adds to your stress.
Because you're like, God damn it, like broken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think when it starts,
Some-
it's
Nothing more frustrating than having a missing sock. You're like, there's nothing to pair this up with.
right. It's me every day. Clothes on the floor everywhere. You have to round them up to the laundry bin. You put them in there. Over time, this can be scary, like a blood-soaked shirt. Dishes need to be cleaned. Over time, this can be scary to wash. Gather all the dishes, wash them. Like those are the mini games. Make the bed. Clean up a messy office, like magazines, post-its, etc. Water the plants in the fans. In the future, the plants could become something scary.
Okay.
End the day playing video games. So I think you'd like sit down and you'd like turn on the screen and you'd start playing, and then like dims out, and then it comes back and it's like darker with like the lights on.
Dark apartment.
Yeah, you're like, well, it's late. I should go to bed. Electronic beep from the Pong app. Open your phone, which introduces the phone feature. Notification from a friend's at a party.
Wow, she must have shopped. She dropped. Go to bed.
Yeah, and that ends like session 1 of like the first day.
Okay.
This is still a lot to do, but we still haven't really defined, in my opinion, the demo path.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only leaning towards sad and angry because we kind of have those bosses pseudo figured out with like the post-it note that I think I even, where's it at? Yeah, it's down here, where it's like depression boss, this is you are, and then you've got like a little post-it note, and when it goes over the green, it says worth it. But then the size of this to me is based on the size of the comfort that you've earned. It's an idea, but
Okay.
we could change it up too. Do you really think?
And like from there, it's kind of like a mini game. Is this what?
Yeah. So this is like a little bar that goes back, forth, and then it's like speeds up or whatever. And it's like, or it's like a post-it note, and it's like your note or your like journal entry that says you are worth it.
Yeah.
Like it's the depression part of like writing positive notes about yourself. Stop putting yourself in negative situations, like using those.
Having that positive dialogue with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is you trying to confront that. And it could be different statements and different truths and lies. And so you're trying to
Get out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like failing it cements like a jewel in one of the slots.
So how do we get from the beginning to the depression boss then?
Yeah, originally we have this guy where she's
like
gone.
triggered.
We're doing this. Well, we do a cleaning task. We go to bed. Something that comes up the next day. This could be looking at the computer. This could be finding a post. This could be something that pushes negative. And then and you're like, oh, I should probably clean up. And maybe it's a bunch of other things we need to clean up. I don't know if maybe the doing the same thing twice, 2 days in a row is good. Or if you're like, oh, I made a mess when I played video games last night. I should clean up my mess from last night, kind of thing.
Yeah. Ooh, I kind of like something around like video games, like leading to maybe something where it's like you were like escaping from that, and like I got to clean up from that, and then maybe you don't.
Yeah. Almost like, hey, I should clean up from last night. You see this thing, you go look over there, and the couch looks clean. But then as you like walk away, the perception has it like messy when you're
not.
When it's outside of that perception bubble. But you go up to it's clean.
Okay.
That's that like, because we should not restrict players.
It's an opportunity. Yeah.
Which then skips the cleaning.
Play games and watch TV.
Yeah. And things get worse. Dirty wise. You then find something else negative about your relationship.
Which that we got to figure out, like, what that was going to specifically be. Confront your depression. Yeah, like, that was going to be, like, the catalyst of, like...
Yeah. Because really, like, 2 things, right? Because this is, like, something that pushes you toward the negative.
But it's also, like, playing video games doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you're going into a depression spiral.
No.
Like, it's kind of like something else on top of that. It's like almost like,
well, it's I just want to say it's like that. It's the escapism of like I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna avoid this by doing something else.
And like not doing the dishes, not doing your laundry, not keeping up with things. So really, we're like looking at what, like 2 days then of that, where because we want to start off like we're doing it, and then it just kind of leads into like, well, no, I don't want to do this.
What if instead of just like playing video games, it's more like you get a text from a friend that's like, "Hey, you want to come hang out?"
Mm-hmm. You're like, no, or
And maybe the player can choose.
ooh, use my headphones here. Yeah.
And like, yes means the house stays as it is.
This is where we give it like the player control, right?
Mhm. What if there's like a list of things to do? So what if you're like, hey, I'm on this break and these are the things I want to get done while I'm on break before I go
Mm-hmm.
before I fly out or something. And it's things like do the laundry, do the dishes, water the plants. But it's like a whole list.
Yeah.
And you could go into your journal to like find the list of things to do. But you only need to do
Okay.
like so many per day. Or none of them if you don't want to do them. But if you don't, not doing them has an effect in the end. But it's the player's choice.
And if you do that or not,
Yeah.
because then that gives more player control rather than like having them on kind of a lined kind of like playthrough on rails.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, but then again, it's like, do the dishes. But then you go to the dishes and you're like, I don't need to do the dishes. They're clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I also don't want it to be like, now you're restricting them. And you're like, oh, you played for 6 hours? Seriously? I don't think so. No. He hasn't. Good. I'm like, no way. Yeah, because what if it's like, what if it's two different ways of being checked off your list? Like, what if you go up to it, it's like, oh, it's clean, and it says like journal note updated, and you go look at it, it's like a different shade of gray that is checked off. I don't know. That might be a little too much. It might be like, I did check, but it actually, I don't know. That might be frustrating to the player.
Trying to think about myself like as the player, what would be.
Hmm. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm stuck.
There's something here. I just gotta think about the way we want to do it. I just want to get. I want to get the demo progression defined.
Yeah. Well, because I'm trying to think like, you see the note, the house is maybe a little bit dirtier, but you don't notice it too much. You then go like, oh well, I need to clean some things up, and that introduces the mini games because we need to like think about like the progression of like introducing those things of like that's the first day. You have the mini games to the night, then you go back to bed, and then it's day two. What's going on day two? What gets progressed in the storyline? How do we lead to a triggering event that leads to it being more depressing? Which would be, oh, well, she's not back yet, or oh, she didn't come home, or, you know,
Yeah.
something like that, or.
Yeah. Granted, if it's the Thanksgiving break, she's staying with them for Thanksgiving, and that makes more sense. So then it's like,
So
because that would be a place to be like,
is that where you get in your head?
yeah.
Where's that? Hmm.
Hmm.
Do we want to say like? I'm trying to think.
I mean, we could have tasks like if we want to lean in a little bit. I can't believe I'm saying this to the way Among Us works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where each round a different set of tasks are available, but if we let those tasks of available be determined by your like state,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe your task is like play video game, like maybe the tasks become the negative thing to do based on your state. Like, I'm gonna just sleep in bed all day. I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm gonna, you know,
Yeah. Well, the task is stay in bed.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what if it's based on the state? Like, it creates tasks. Like, hey, I'm playing the game. I'm doing the task.
Well, you have the task to either stay in bed or
Or get up.
get up. So that gives you because of like player freedom in that
Yeah,
sense. So
it gives
like,
them the choice. And either way, they're completing the task.
right. Okay. Okay.
And it's not like outright written anywhere, do task. It's just like, hey, you want to get up today?
Yeah. This is what you want to do. You know.
And that way we can have different things, whether it's like water the plants, eat a bag of chips, watch TV, play video games, play on computer, or like turn on computer. And like,
if you keep going towards that, right?
I think it's just like you keep going, and then it's like, oh, open up social media. Oh, open up posts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, open up. Like, I think giving interaction options that they can do is good. And that way it's not like only only the things that are comfort or tasks. It's the tasks can become stressors or comforters,
Mm-hmm.
but it's based on the player discovering it. Like, I want them to go to a drawer and interact and open up a drawer, and maybe they'll find the little bracelet thing. Maybe they'll find a picture. Maybe they'll find their really romantic message from their girlfriend from when they first dated. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, it's about the player exploring, and if they don't explore, that's their choice.
Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, like we want the player to feel like they have control in that situation.
Exactly. Yeah. And then that way their like perception thing is what enables and disables certain tasks based on their state.
Okay.
Like, if you're so depressed you don't want to get out of bed,
They're not gonna get out of bed.
but I still want it to be like, well, is the person playing the game more determined than your player? That kind of channels through and you get up.
Mm-hmm.
Despite everything, you get up.
Yeah.
That's actually a comfort. Like, but then maybe the next time they play, like, ooh, what happens if I say yes, stay in bed? Like, I want people that are playing the game to be curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Well, because it's not like, well, yeah, of course the decision is to get up. It's gonna be like, well, what if I just stay in bed? Like, how bad can it get?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna play video games. Stay in bed. I'm gonna neglect my tasks.
Yeah. I should cook dinner. I'm gonna have delivery.
Yeah.
I should go work out. Nah. So it's like, you know,
The easy slippery slope that shows like what happens and how it
yeah.
can kind of stack onto each other.
I think it'd be really cool that like maybe 3 days in a row that we go up to like the workout gear and you say no.
Mhm.
On like the fourth day, your workout gear is like in the closet.
It's moved. Like, huh.
Yeah, you made the choice. You weren't gonna work out.
So now it's not there.
Yeah. And
You
so
put
that
it up.
comfort is then removed. Is not a thing you can get now.
Yeah. No, it has consequences. If you don't do it, then you don't do it.
You should work out. You should do some kind of exercise. Speaking for someone who's only had a 5 day streak of working out.
I'm gonna trying to get back into it.
Dude, it has to be, you have to have like the right environment to do it. Like, I really hated going to the gym. I hated getting dressed and going to the gym, and I would never do it. I would pay for the subscription fee, and I'd go like twice a month. And I'd pay $30 for twice a month, basically.
hmm
So getting the power back in here, set that up. I got my Beat Saber as well. So I've got a setup that works that keeps me going. I've done 5 days straight.
Hey, it's 5 days that you didn't do.
It-
I wouldn't have done.
exactly. And so I keep at it. Hopefully, I mean, it's my goal. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll tell you Tuesday. Um. So yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, you can have interactions that are either stressors or comforters,
Yeah.
and maybe neutral, like finding lower items, like finding things that don't matter either way.
hmm
But maybe they'll unlock other paths.
Oh. Because at that point, like it changes your environment based off of what you're not doing versus what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what you can get as positives versus negatives. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. And that can kind of guide. So we're looking at like 2-3 days then as like the demo. Right?
I
Listening.
was thinking of still following that same time frame, whereas that Wednesday is like the last day, and then Thursday is. Man, where is all my? This is why I need to have that all in a simple, good place. Yeah. So I think day one, and then like this is the final day, which means I think we'll have like you could have like boss, and then maybe like final boss kind of thing.
Yeah.
And maybe there's like for the demo, like my thought is it's like depression and then rage, these are the different bosses, but this is like a level 2 rage boss.
Mhm.
But you could maybe have an event in the future where anger is the first boss and then depression is the final boss. It's like a level 2 depression boss, like it's an amped up depression boss.
Yeah.
Like we want I want each one to have a final form, as it were.
This is even my final.
You haven't even seen me in my final form. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. But what are your thoughts?
Okay. Do we want the boss to change depending on the route that we're going? Because we have a depression boss. I mean, of course, this is just for the demo right now.
Yeah.
But, like future wise, like you have your depression boss, and then you have like your anger boss. Do you want to have like different ones based off of where you're going?
Yeah, I want the same from like this wheel. I want each one of these to be a potential boss. Depression, fear, rage, embarrassment, to all be bosses, and then having 2 levels
Yeah.
based on which one you deal with first.
I like that.
And I think as you find stuff, it adds one, and you only have so many, and then it like, okay, well, which one's your majority, and that determines which your 2 are.
Okay.
And then based on this, like whatever your route is, I'm thinking it would then flip and wherever it lands up here. Pretty much I'm seeing like if it was like sadness and you go like this to anger like we're doing, you then like flip it over and then it's basically like inverted.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, you get the confident ending for like beating it. Or you get the rage ending for losing. Or like for having that if you
going that direction.
Yeah, if you don't beat the boss.
Yeah. Failure.
Yeah. But still an ending.
Yeah. You still get something out of that.
Yeah, you succumb to your rage.
I like that. I like that there's still something that you get out of it, even if you still fail it, because then it goes that direction.
Yep. I think the rage one should be like if you lose to rage, it's you with like your box of your stuff getting fired from your job
because you lost. They're like, yeah, and then that's it.
Just an idea.
That's some good spitball ideas. I like that.
I know you're not here very often. We did do 2 hours, so I'm tempted to call it there if you're wanting to, because you also seem really tired.
We can call it there.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on stream and doing this together.
Yeah, man, it was great to be a part of this. I'm excited to be a part of it more often.
Yeah, we'll do some music and stuff next time.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out, watching us brainstorm, coming up with ideas. We'll have more to come. I'm going to make progress on time off, but honestly, Tuesday will be when I'm streaming again. And we'll go from here and actually do some cool concrete stuff, and you'll actually see some code, you'll see some art, you'll see some stuff. You're gonna see a video that I made a month ago, and we'll make new goals. Yeah, and I think will join us from Discord, and we'll have that all set up.
Part of that. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's see who's streaming right now. Let's see who we got to raid. Let's do Jitspo. Haven't done him in a little bit. So again, thank you everybody. And again, I'm streaming every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
And people YouTube, I'm going to Jitspo. Have a wonderful night. Stay awesome.
Take care. Peace.